Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Modded Mythbusters. Today, we are going to be experimenting with the Productive Bees Centrifuges and whether certain combinations of upgrades are better than the other. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video, and we're going to jump right into it. Okay, so I know there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the actual combinations of Omega and Speedier upgrades for the heated centrifuges, or centrifuges in general for productive bees. And this episode's pretty much going to see which one's actually on top. You know, I've been getting a lot of it's almost like a 50-50 where 1 Omega and 3 Speedier is better than a 2 Omega and 2 Speedier. And then on the other side of the fence, having 2 Omegas and 2 Speediers is better than 1 and 3. So in today's episode, we are going to put them side by side in a versus battle and see which one is actually better and which one is on top. I'm also going to be doing testing for the 3 other variants. So I have a 1 to 3, which is my favorite personally. We have the 2v2 or the 2+2. We have the 3+1. We have the all 4 Omegas and then all 4 Speedier. So we're pretty much going to mainly focus on the first 2. However, I kind of want to see and test what the other 3 have in store for us. So this will be quite interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away and I'm going to build up our test example. It will be kind of interesting the way I am going to be doing this, because remember, I am on my Creative Labs world to where we could do all sorts of testing and not have any restrictions on items or anything of that nature to hold us back. Now, anything that I do on here, you should be able to do in a normal All the Mods 10 world. The only things that you can't do, I will definitely point out that they are not available. So I will let you know if we stumble across any item that is not obtainable in the actual gameplay. You have to be in creative to get some of these items. And again, I will let you know. Anyways, so let me go ahead and cut here, and I will bring you guys back as soon as I finish building up our testing zone. All right, and we are back. So don't mind the contraption behind me. That was something I kind of wanted to test since I was kind of curious, especially for this kind of test. I wanted to see if you could soul surge a beehive. Unfortunately, you can't. Doesn't work. So we're just gonna ignore that monstrosity behind me. And there's the video from episode 3, the pipes and TPS controversy. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn my camera around so you can see what I built, and then I will walk you through everything that is there. Now, I will let you know, I am using SFM to move the items around. And then I'm also using Applied Energistics to visually see what comes in. All right, so here we go. Let's turn my camera around. All right, so this is what we have going on. So we have a barrel, which is going to be our starting point. This is where our items are going to be. We have the creative energy cube, of course, which you can definitely get this once you get the ATM stars, and you could start making ATM blocks. You can make this in the game. I have the factory manager, inventory cables, the other side. So this is where all our items are going to come in from the centrifuges. So we're going to have items going into the centrifuge from these barrels, and we're going to have the items coming in from the centrifuges from these barrels. And I have a storage bus onto these barrels with a throughput monitor on it so that we could gauge exactly how much we are getting. And then, of course, I have all the heated centrifuges. And then, of course, we have the basic ME terminal so we could go ahead and see, we could either come into the barrel or we could go to the screen. I just did the screen just to kind of make things a little more fancier, of course. Anyways, so that's pretty much it. There is a line of 64 centrifuges for each test. And I will show you the code of exactly what I have. Let me go ahead and plop this in here. So starting right off the bat, we could go ahead and actually remove this last bit because I put points on each one instead. Everything's happy. Okay. So, of course, we have FE coming in from the cube and going out to all the centrifuges, and I have each centrifuge row kind of named. So like 1 plus 3, so that's 1 omega plus 3 Speedier, 2 plus 2, 3 plus 1, 4 omega, and then 4 Speedier. And then I have, I need to remove this line right here because that is no longer needed. There we go. Okay, so I have barrel N1 going out to all the centrifuges. And then I have a forget, and then input from the centrifuges into barrel out 1. And then, of course, just the number at the ends of each one is going to change. Same with the centrifuges, just noted at the top. And that's pretty much it. And if we look at the gun here, you can see, all the barrel in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Same with the barrel out. And of course, all the centrifuges are labeled their own. Now for the centrifuges, what I have is output items to each centrifuge. So it's going to fill up each centrifuge instead of just one. And that's pretty much it. Matter of fact, we could probably make this a little bit better. Let's see, output 64 items. Okay. So I fixed the code, so now it's going to output a stack to each centrifuge. I will tell you this right now. There's going to be one item that I'll be using for this that you cannot get in the normal world. This is just so that we don't have to have a bunch of beehives or anything like that trying to supply us a steady stream of comb blocks. And that's going to be this guy right here. It's the Infinity upgrade. Basically what this does is anything you put into this barrel becomes infinite. This is the only thing that you're not going to be able to make, as it's only creative that you're able to actually get that upgrade. I just felt that this would be a better way so that we could let these guys do all the talking instead of worrying about our beehives. All right, so let me go ahead and cut away one more time, and I'm going to go through and fill up all these centrifuges with the correct upgrades for each row. And then I'll bring you back, and then all we have to do is just put our... Well, we're going to remove the disk, because what I'm going to do is the moment I put the disk back in is basically when we say go. And when the time is up for our test, I will remove the disk so that everything is done. And then whatever's left to be processed, I will let finish out. And then once all the centrifuges are empty, we'll go ahead and take a look at the numbers. We will be taking a look at the numbers as well during our testing, because I plan on doing about 15 to 20 minute run just so that everything is normalized, everything is running properly, and we'll get a more stable number on our throughput monitors here. All right, so let me go ahead and cut away and get all this situated, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, and we are back. I just finished upgrading all the centrifuges with their proper upgrades. And just a little side note here. If you are liking these videos or you want to see more, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, check out the description. I'm going to have the Discord link there. Come join our community. You know, it's a great community. Everybody's very active. And we would like to see this community grow, especially for modded Minecraft. It's not just strictly all the mods 10 or all the mods 10 to the sky, as we are going to be doing other mods as well. So I hope to see you guys in the Discord, and also don't forget to smash the like button. Okay, so now that we have all the centrifuges upgraded, what we are going to do is come back over to the factory manager here and slap in our disk here. But before we do that, we need to select our comb, and you saw on the throughput that it's going to be diamond. So let me go ahead and grab some comb here of the diamond. Okay, so now I have the diamond comb block, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. As you can see, it turns it instantly into infinite amount. And so now I could just go down the line and fill all these up with the diamond comb blocks. So now these are all good to go. Now all we have to do is just slap this disk into the factory manager, and this will then begin. Just a note, I am not going to be accelerating any of these with either soul surging or time wand or the crystal wand from Roots or time in the bottle, nothing. This is just straight raw production of their own accord. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start this. And here we go. Okay, I'm back. I had to do some kind of weird thing. I'm going to see if this works. The infinity upgrade for the barrels, I don't think were allowing me to transfer items. So I'm going to go ahead and try this. Instead, what I did was I made these the infinity upgrade barrels. And then I have a pipe going into the just a regular barrel with an infinity pipe upgrade. This thing is awesome. This thing sends max int every tick. So these are going to remain full throughout this whole entire process. So hopefully this will work. I'm going to go ahead and put the disk back in and see if things start to move. And if it does, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and fix the code, because I had to remove some things just for troubleshooting purposes. And then hopefully we will be able to move on forward. So let's go ahead and see if this will now work. Also, just so you know, this is not available in the main game, only in creative, the infinity pipe upgrade. I just wanted to let you guys make sure you're aware of that. So yeah, let's go ahead and slap this on in. And look at that, it does work. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to take it out real quick. That works extremely well. Wow. So what I'm going to do for right now is disconnect these barrels. Just for right now. Slap this back in. Let everything clear out on its own. Perfect. Okay. And we are going to pull this back out and replace the inventory cables that I destroyed. Okay, so we know that works, which is awesome. I am happy that works. So doing it straight off of this does not work. However, doing it like this does work. It's actually able to see these items. So let's go ahead and can I edit this outside? Perfect. Okay. So what I'm going to do is come back in here and output to each centrifuge, and that's going to be 64. Skip. So basically I'm just going to add all this back in. And what this will do is it will send a stack of comb to each centrifuge each time this gets processed. And then I'm also going to put the tick step up rate here. Now the 20G, the reason why I'm putting that is because that stands for global. So it's 20 global ticks plus 5 ticks after that. So hopefully this will keep it nice and fast. And this you can do in your world. I do it all the time in my main game. And it helps with moving everything around as fast as possible so we don't have any blockages. And I think this is the last one, G plus 5. All right, let me make sure everything looks good. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out all of these barrels. And then we will go ahead and start this back up. So let me go ahead and get all this cleared out. And then I'll bring you back right when we're about to start. Okay, and I am back. Got all these cleared out. Got them all in here. As you can see, these are now all empty. And these are all reset. So we are actually good to go. I'm not worried about the honey. That's not going to cause any issues. This is going to be just for straight home to item. All right. So without further ado, let's see who comes out on top. And let's go. So now that these are running, I'm going to go ahead and set a timer we'll do for 15 minutes, and I will bring you guys right back. All right, and I'm cutting back in just a little bit. We have about a 5.5 minutes at this point, and I just wanted to bring you guys back in just so I could say thank you guys so much for joining me on these journeys of mine, whether it be with Project ATM10 Star, or my ATM10 to the Skies series, or even the Modded Mythbusters. I appreciate all your guys' support, and for those who haven't, it would greatly help out the channel if you would just smash that subscribe button. And if you like this video or these types of videos, don't forget to hit that like button that tells me that you guys are enjoying this. And also leave some comments down below on what you want me to try out, or I should say what you want me to myth bust next. So far we've done the whole pipes TPS issue. We're doing the centrifuge one now. We also did the 1,000 channels across dimension, which is way back there in the back. And then past that, we've also did the infinity fluid, if it's possible, using the create hose pulley, which unfortunately, I'm not going to spoil anything. Go check out the video if you haven't yet. Anyways, I would greatly appreciate if you guys would subscribe, like, and definitely comment to let me know what I should try next. And again, in the description down below, I will have a link to my Discord, which everybody is definitely welcome. The only thing I ask is just keep it clean. But other than that, we have a ton of great people in here already who are always down to help as well, including myself. And who knows, we may have a future little community style server playthrough going on with a couple of other YouTubers that we have in the Discord. There are some talks, but nothing is set in stone just yet. But anyways, I will go ahead and cut back we have about 3 minutes left, and again, I will throw a timer up somewhere. And let's see who comes out on top. All right, guys, we have about a minute and a half left. And I am getting super anxious because this testing is extremely wild because there's been so much back and forth. You know, 1 omega 3 speedier or 2 omega 2 speedier is better. Like, I want to know. I want to know the definite answer on which one is actually better. Because, oh, it's going to be wonderful to know. And then I'm kind of curious on what the other ones are doing. You know, how they're doing, holding up against the two heavy hitters. I feel like one of them is kind of limping along, probably, because you know, having 4 speedier, like, yeah, it's good, it's better than nothing, but I don't think it's as good as these heavy hitters up here in the front. So we have, and I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to pull this disc out. And then once I pull this out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect these back barrels again, like I did previously, and then we're going to let the rest of the stuff run. So here we go. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. All right. So let me go ahead and break these cables real quick. Break these as well, just to make sure nothing is connected whatsoever. And then I will throw that disc back in to let the rest of it cycle through, and I'll give it a little bit more time. These should be pretty much empty. Looking good. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull the disc back out. And I guess we'll start from this side and work our way up to the heavy hitters. At this time, go ahead and drop what you think down below in the comments. What combination of upgrades do you think won this battle? Was it the 1 omega 3 speedier, or is it the 2 omega and 2 speedier? Or do you think one of the miscellaneous ones, or the ones that are, I guess at this point considered underdogs, won? I don't know. Let's go check it out. Starting off, we have 4 speedier upgrades, and we are sitting at 159,000. Not bad, but not, you know, not too bad to what it is. 159,000. I believe this one was kind of on the lower end with a couple of hundred per second. And then the next one, which is 3 omegas and 1 speedier. No, I'm sorry. This one is 4 omegas. And we are sitting at 1.4 million diamonds. That's not bad at all. Look at that. Almost 2 rows. That is pretty good. On the expensive side, because it requires 4 omegas, but I mean, that's not bad. 1.4 million? I mean, that blew that guy out of the water by a lot. Wow. Okay, and the next is going to be the 3 omega 1 speedier, and we have, again, 1.4 million. So these were kind of, you know, neck to neck. Let's see which one actually won. So this one's sitting at 1,491,776. And this guy is sitting at, ooh, so the 4 omega beat the 3 omega and 1 speedier by 10,000 just about. Okay. Really had high hopes for this one, but this one, I mean, 10,000 difference. I mean, it's not too bad. All right, let's take a look at the 2 omega and 2 speedier. This is the one of the heavyweights of this testing that we're doing. All right, here we go. 2.9 million. Wow, almost, actually more than doubled that, just slightly. That is insane. So 2,982,400 in 15 minutes. We almost got 3 million diamonds. That is insane. Let me go grab another cable real quick. Actually, do I have it? Oh, yep, right there. In terminal. I'm excited. I mean, that kind of gives me hope. Almost 3 million. All right, and my personal favorite, the 1 Omega 3 Speedier. This one has been my main go-to. I felt like it was slightly faster than this. However, I do know that the 2 Omega 2 Speedier does a whole stack of processing at a time, which may seem faster, but it just visually looking at it just felt slow. That's why I was excited to make this video. So without further ado, let's see what we got. 2.9 million again. Ooh, we're coming down to the wire. Wow. Okay, let's see who pulled ahead. Wow, we have an upset, guys. By how much? By 15,000. The 1 Omega 4 Speedier, my personal favorite, has beat out the 2 Omega 2 Speedier by 15,000. Look at that. We were 2,144 diamonds away from 3 million. Look at that. That is insane. However, unfortunately, you could go either way. Out of millions of diamonds, 10 to 15,000, that's not a lot. That's not a big difference, honestly. In 15 minutes, we've gotten almost 3 million diamonds with both these setups. And unfortunately, it doesn't matter which one you go with because they're about the same. So, honestly, actually, you know, I take that back. It does matter. Because this only requires 1 Omega. That's cheaper. And for this to keep up with this on a cheaper scale, I would have to say, honestly, Team 1 Omega 3 Speedier won. They got number one based on cost to performance. And the fact that because of that, they even became like got ahead by 15,000 with just the cost of 1 Omega and then 3 Speediers. That's not bad, honestly. That saves you draconic dust. It saves you. It actually it gives you a little bit more. I mean, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's like what 1%, maybe not even that. Maybe difference. Like honestly, save your resources. Go with the one. Go with the 1 Omega 3 Speedier. Save your resources and have fun with it. That is wild. And just for the pure fact that these guys right here, you know, I mean, they kind of held their own. Not gonna lie. However, these are massively expensive. You know, we have 4 Omegas in this one and 3 in this one. And then this guy, I'm sorry, he tried. He tried. He tried. Oh, but with just 4 Speediers, I mean, you can see the evolution because normally when you start off, you have this going on. 4 Speediers, you just starting off, and then you could kind of see how it evolves. devolve, depending on how you want to see this. But I mean, if we're going from 4 Speedier to then just slapping 1 Omega in there instead, like that's wild. Look at that. Almost 4 rows of diamonds with 2 tier 5 stack upgrades. Alright guys, and with that said, oh man, with that said, that is something wild. I would have never expected it to be so close, but yet, oh, I'm lost for words on this one. But yeah, anyways, if you guys liked today's video, go ahead and smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Again, one more time, I have Discord down below in the description, and leave me a comment. Were you surprised by this? Because I know I was. Alright, so until the next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.